But talk to me about stress and how that relates to health.
Well, you and I had a really good talk just in your driveway the last time I was over here about that. Hey, what are we going to talk about next time? And so stress, you hear it said, and I think it's true, stress is a killer. The feeling of stress, dread, that is no fun. That is no fun. So, I'll have to look it up to get the name right. I think it's called takabsus or takabasus or something like that. It's a weird Japanese term, but there's actually a diagnosis where a broken heart, the idea of a broken heart.
Yeah, broken heart syndrome. I've heard about this.
Yeah, tagabasus or something like that. It's real. So your emotions can be so overwhelming that it affects
your heart.
Your heart literally affects your heart, and people can have acute issues with their heart. Either I think I have to read up on it, but yeah, that's the most extreme
it's
version
basically
of it.
It's a stress reaction, right?
Yeah, and other things about stress. If you get really stressed out, you want to make that go away. You want to make that feel better, and so. Comfort food.
Comfort foods. Some people get onto drugs or alcohol
that
way.
Right. So the bottom line is, Tony, you want to feel better. You don't want to feel stressed. You don't want to feel that bad, terrible feeling that we all have. Right. But the most go-to things are, beer, alcohol. Yeah. You always hear people say, well, I'm self-medicating. Yeah. But, it gets to a point oftentimes that that becomes its own disease. People hurt themselves by trying not to feel so bad.
So now I have heard since I've been working with the heart program that it affects, that stress actually, and when people are highly under stress, they're worried about a lot of things, or they're they're worried about their finances, they're worried about their kids, they're worried about their job, they're worried about the future, or crazy things going on in the world, and they let all these things get behind that it can affect your sleep, for one thing, right?
Yeah, man. Yes, sir.
And it can affect, we mentioned it can affect how you self-medicate by whether it's food or alcohol or drugs or whatever people might do for that. But does it? Am I wrong that it can help also with constriction of vessels and things that just when you're stressed up in a sense of stress or whatever all the time, that it can make it harder for your body to pump blood through your body?
Well, yeah, absolutely. So So stress is a normal thing. Stress, anxiety, that's a normal physiologic thing. That, if there's a bear chasing you, your body's programmed to go, wow, that's not a good feeling.
Tighten up and get ready to fight.
Fight or flight. Right. So your adrenaline starts pumping, and your blood pressure goes up. Your blood vessels get constricted for the most part. As a general rule, it shoots blood to your muscles. But if you're not using them, that doesn't do you any good.
Right.
But it can definitely affect your blood pressure levels.
Oh, that's it. That's what I've heard.
And so absolutely, that's a fact. And then, as far as going back to the, people want to feel better, so they eat or they drink. If you eat too much and your belly's all full, what's one of the most common things that happens if you eat too much? You get heartburn.
Yeah.
That affects your sleep.
Yeah.
If you drink too much, same thing, that can give you heartburn. Both of them can affect your sleep.
Right.
If you get to a point where this happens over time, you gain a bunch of weight, you get overweight, you're at the risk of having sleep apnea, which affects your sleep. And then that can affect your blood pressure, and it becomes this really negative cycle.
And the stress, and then particularly the follow-up things to stress, the results that you're talking about there can lead to depression.
Yeah, boy. Yeah.
So stress is a. Let me ask you this, Tom, because here you're a DO, you're a doctor of osteopathy, osteopathic doctor, right?
Correct.
Right.
Yep.
And so you are specifically trained for body, mind, spirit. We talked about that in the first episode.
Right.
So how much of this bleeds over into the psychological realm? I mean, how much of this that we're talking about now is there anything? I know that I feel less stress when I exercise.
Yes.
Which is strange. I have the same amount of stress.
Yes.
But if I go exercise,
yes,
I feel better, and I don't know what it is about it, but something helps me deal with that stress better.
Yep.
I know that's a physiological thing I can do, but talk about that one first, and let's talk about what mental things we need to do.
Yeah. So the easy thing to do, if you're stressed out and you're feeling bad, you want to feel better, is to grab a hot dog or a bologna and cheese and the remote control. That's the easy thing to do.
Easy thing to do.
And you'll feel better
for a little while
in the short term. But if you do that every day, that's not a good coping mechanism. Sometimes when I'm fighting it, and I know what I have to do, I have to go exercise. I have to make my body move. My wife, God love her, she has this saying. She says, Tom, when's the last time you walked out of the gym feeling bad?
That's true.
And that's it.
I might feel bushed or tired, but I always feel better.
But you feel better, hey, I did something.
I got something done.
And so, not only did you do something and you know that, but also your body, the physiology is, demanding of your physical self to do stuff, pushing it, make yourself get out of breath, get sweaty. That creates a physiologic stress. It's a demand, it's work. And that causes your body to release endorphins, which is the body's natural way of saying, your bones and joints and ligaments are being stressed, but in a good way. And so we're going to reward you with that by saying, to dampen that displeasure, the body releases endorphins that make you feel good, that make you get a runner's high. So go to the gym, don't go to the couch.
So that's interesting. Now, so I'll tell you a progression that I go through, and you tell me if I'm crazy or if I'm just weird or what. So
yes, you're crazy and weird.
I am crazy and weird, but okay. One of the things that causes me big time stress is I do a lot of freelance work.
Yeah.
And so I know I've got these projects I have to do. Usually I'm doing the freelance work at night when I'm tired. I'm doing it on the weekend when I'd rather be out hiking.
Yes.
And so I have a hard time motivating myself. So sometimes I procrastinate, and
Yes.
or I feel like I don't want to do this. Man, what a drag! I need the freelance money because it's cool to have it.
Right.
And so I have to motivate myself. And I find that when I'm in that self-medicating mode, when I want to sit around and watch television, veg out and all that, I just get further and further and further behind. And one of the things I've noticed is that when I am exercising, when I'm being active, when I'm getting out and doing even if I just spend 45 minutes doing something at the gym, I come home and I'm a little pumped.
Yeah.
And I feel like doing some of that freelance work.
Yeah.
Which therefore releases some stress off of me. If I get those things done.
Yes.
It's sort of like it's a little spiral. I know that even though a lot of times I don't even feel like getting out of bed and going and doing that elliptical trainer in the morning, if I do it, I know that ultimately I'll get more done during the day. I'll be more efficient at work, be more efficient with my freelance work, which means I'll have less stress and more time to go out and hike and shoot videos and things.
Right.
So I guess my question is that what would you say to somebody coming in? Oh, Tom, I just got 1,000 things on my mind. I've got so much going on. Would you prescribe the physical aspect first, or are there some mental things that you would talk with this person about?
Well, both. So physical for sure. One of the things, as you were framing your question there, I'm thinking back to my stressful times, med school, residency, medical training. That's a hard time, and that there's sleepless nights and very demanding, very stressed out, and I had a hard time sleeping. And so what does a young man do when he's having a hard time sleeping? He calls mom and dad. Hey, I'm having a hard time sleeping. But my dad gave me some of the best advice I ever did hear. It's hard, good advice is sometimes hard to take advice. But he said, if you're not sleeping, you're just not working hard enough. And I went, yeah, that's what I said. I said, yeah, thanks, Pop. Talk to you later.
But he was telling you the truth.
But as I've processed that, and as I've talked to patients, if you physically put demands on your body, now you're laying on the couch with the remote and Cheetos, that's not very hard for your body. But if you're making your body use fuel, burn calories, utilize energy, that makes you tired. That helps you sleep. Yeah. The benefits of exercise are beyond physical. It makes you feel good about yourself. You did something, and so that's the mind-body connection. And then the triad there is the spirit. You feel good, warm and fuzzy, if you will. So if you have consistency with that, you do it every day, rather than lay on the couch and do sort of if you're drinking a 6-pack every day, it's going to catch up with you. If you're working out every day, that's going to catch up with you in a good way. That's going to pay off.
So it's not just a stress thing. That affects your whole body health by getting out and exercising.
Right.
And you're right. If there are days when it's rainy and I don't feel like, and I just lay around all day, I just feel terrible. I mean, toward the end of the day, I look back and what did I get done today?
Right.
And again, it seems like that to me. One of the big triggers is I just get in a lazy mode.
Yeah.
And if I can't just bring myself out of it, just mentally snap myself out of it, that I will just spiral deeper and deeper.
Right.
But if I get up and just do anything, a lot of times I'll get up and say, what's the easiest thing I can do right now that I need to do? And I'll do that thing. And then I'll move on to a little bigger thing, and a little bit, and then before long, I'll say, "Wow, look what I got done today."
Well, inertia.
I feel way better, you know.
Yeah, the law of inertia. You know, an object at rest stays at rest. Object in motion stays in motion. So once you get up and get moving, once you get the party started, it kind of falls into play. So, you know, for me, I was telling you a little bit about my horse woes, and you know, I have all this other stuff going on at my house. But then I went for a bike ride, and I've been outside, and it's this gorgeous day, and it's a red letter day. I'm loving life right now. And so, you know, once you start moving, it tends to fall into place for you like that, that I don't feel really stressed right now. I feel really good. I'm digging it. But if I were at home and I let all this stuff pile up on me, which I do sometimes, then, you know, it gets on top of you. And, you know, you get to that point where if you overanalyze, you get paralyzed. If you think too long, you think wrong. You know that.
Wow, that's a cool one. Never heard that.
Yeah.
Overanalyze. I know so many people that overanalyze, and they get paralyzed.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, how do they get anything done? I know I've known some people that overthink things to the degree. You know, like me, I like to just do things.
Right.
And I know that sometimes you can be hasty.
Right.
But you know, that's where judgment comes in over time. You know, someone who's been around a good long while and knows the ins and outs, I think they're ready for action.
Yeah.
And, you know, but you get people that just are super, super, super cautious. And I will say this, Tom, there is a guy, I don't watch his videos all the time, but he's very popular on YouTube. His name's Casey Neistat. You have to clue you into him. One of the things that Casey does, he's just one of those guys that I think he's reckless. He's probably going to end up getting killed someday because he just does everything. But he's trying to live life to its fullest. And even on his arm, backward on his arm, he has tattooed so he can look in the mirror. It says, "Do more."
Wow.
Tattooed backwards. So when he looks at himself in the mirror, I guess when he's brushing his teeth or shaving or whatever in the morning, he can see this thing that says, "Do more."
Wow.
Is that not crazy? So that's his thing in life. And so he seems to be everywhere, doing everything. It's like he's nuts.
Yeah.
It's like he's a doer freak.
Right.
And I wish I could be like halfway there. I don't want to be all that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I got a question I want to ask you.
Yep.
You're a farmer now. In Indiana, did you grow up on a farm?
Ohio.
I'm sorry,
Ohio.
Indiana.
Right. They're close. They're connected.
They're the same thing, man. It all looks the same.
Midwest.
I'm just kidding.
Yep.
So Ohio, did you grow up on a farm?
Did grow up on a farm. So horses, cows, chickens, goats.
Did you like it back then?
I did.
You did. See now this is what's weird about me. I did not like being made to farm. You know, my dad used me for like slave labor.
Yep.
And what's funny is now that I'm getting older, I just totally dig it. I like going out and scratching in the dirt and working on cutting down trees like I've done back behind here and all that. But so tell me about your experience. This is cool. Is that one of the things you use for stress release?
Yeah, this doc told me, one of my mentors, shout out to you, Dr. Daniel Black in Gallup County. Thank you. You've helped me a lot. He told me early on, first thing he told me was to get a haircut. but he had a farm, and I was amazed that he would do his doctor thing, you know, for 12 hours or 14 hours or whatever, big long day, and then he would come home and work on a farm, and I was like, wow, dude, why would you want to do that? Wouldn't you want to kick your feet up? And he said, man, after you're using your brain all day, sitting on a little doctor stool all day, it's fun to get up and move. It's therapeutic. And so, yeah, that's what it is for me, is being outside. I'm envious. One of the best parts of my job is talking to people about what they do that I don't do. And I kind of daydream about that. But when I get home, you know, just to go outside, be outside, do stuff, use my body, see other critters, you know, horses, cows, that's what we got now, chickens. That's fun. Yeah.
Plus, you're feeding your family and all too with that. Tom brought me some eggs this week that were just, I mean, they're gargantuan eggs, so his chickens must be really sore.
I bet they are.
But they are doing a great job. Well, also, anything else you wanted to mention? Okay, let's say this. Let's say a person feels like they're under massive stress.
Yeah.
What are some things they should do? I mean, should they go to a doctor and talk with their doctor about this?
Absolutely.